Today we will discuss the architecture of 8086 microprocessor in detail. Now in the architecture of 8086 microprocessor, mainly there are two parts. The entire architecture or internal block diagram of 8086 is broadly divided into two parts, and those two parts are BIU and EU, where BIU stands for Bus Interface Unit and EU stands for Execution Unit. So while discussing the architecture of 8086, Bus Interface Unit and Execution Unit are two major parts of the architecture. Coming to the first part, that is Bus Interface Unit. From the name it is clear that it is something related with the bus interface. Interface means connection. Bus means the external bus that is available with the microprocessor, which are connected with other devices that are connected with the microprocessor. So the unit which is related with the external connection of the microprocessor is bus interface unit. Now this bus interface unit deals with the external bus. And there are three types of bus that are available in the microprocessor. The first bus is address bus, whose job is to transfer the address of devices that are to be used while making the communication. Another bus is data bus. Data bus means the bus by which data is transferred between processor and other devices. And third bus is control bus, which will control or decide what operation to be carried out between the devices and microprocessor. So three types of buses are there. The details of these buses can be discussed when we discuss about the pin configuration of 8086. But right now we should understand that these three buses are connected with the microprocessor and the devices. So establishing a connection between these devices and microprocessor through this bus, that will be taken care by bus interface unit. Now this bus interface unit mainly has four functions. First function is to fetch program from the memory. Now whatever program we write which is to be executed by the microprocessor, that program is written in the memory, and memory is a separate chip, processor is a separate chip. So that program has to be brought from memory into the microprocessor for execution. Then only the program will be executed, and then only whatever computation we want to perform with the microprocessor, that will be carried out. So for that matter, the program has to be brought from memory device or the memory chip into the microprocessor. So to fetch that program from the memory into the processor, this is the first and the most important job of bus interface unit. So fetch or bring the program from the memory chip into the processor, that is the first function. Second function indicates that it can read data from memory. The way we have program in the memory, in the similar manner, we can save data also in the memory. So if processor wants to perform any task with that data, then that data has to be read from the memory. So second job of the bus interface unit is to read that data from the memory. Now, as we have memory connected with the microprocessor, in the similar manner, we may have input-output devices also connected with the microprocessor through ports. So, reading the data from those input ports or input devices, that will also be a job, part of the job. So, along with the memory, reading the data from input devices, that will also be a job. So, read data from memory and input devices. That will be the second function of the microprocessor. Third and important function is write data into the memory or output devices. So the way we read the data from memory, in the similar manner, processor writes the data into the memory onto the output devices. The output devices may include printer or 7-segment display or LCD display or any kind of output device. So on that device, writing data onto the output device or into the memory chip, that will be another job of the microprocessor. That is the bus interface unit. And most importantly, for making communication with all these devices, whether it is memory or input output device, processor needs to generate the address. So address generation for various devices, that will also be the job of bus interface unit. So processor has bus interface unit. It mainly performs these four functions. It fetches the program from the memory, it reads the data from the memory, it writes data into the memory, or it reads the data from input device, or it writes the data onto the output device. And for all these devices, whether reading from the memory or writing into the memory, processor needs to generate the address, and this address generation will also be done by bus interface unit. So first unit, half the portion is bus interface unit. Second part of the microprocessor is execution unit. Now whatever program is brought into the microprocessor, that program has to be executed. So where that program will be executed? That program will be executed within the execution unit. So execution of the program is the first and the most important job of execution unit. And for execution of the program, if it needs to perform any kind of arithmetic or logical operations, then that operations will also be done within the execution unit. So within the execution of the program, all sort of arithmetic and logical operations are carried out in the execution unit. So microprocessor mainly has two units. The first unit is bus interface unit and the second unit is execution unit. So performing the job with execution unit and bus interface unit, this is the main task of the processor. Now this particular figure shows the architecture of microprocessor. Now in this you can see the bus interface unit, the portion which is above the dotted line is called as bus interface unit, and the portion which is shown below this dotted line is called as execution unit. So by this green dotted line, the bus interface unit and execution unit are separated. Now to start with the architecture, we need to discuss bus interface unit separately and execution unit separately. Let us start with the bus interface unit. Now in the figure you can see that bus interface unit mainly has this portion which I define as number 1, segment registers, another portion IP, that is instruction pointer, third portion instruction queue, that is these 6 registers which you can see here, they are instruction queue, and fourth portion is memory interface, which is the summation unit. So bus interface unit mainly has 4 portions. The first portion represents segment registers, second portion represents instruction pointer, third portion represents instruction queue, and fourth portion represents memory interface. Now these 4 parts we need to discuss in detail one by one. So starting with the first part, that is segment registers. So in microprocessor there are 4 segment registers, and these 4 segment registers are CS, ES, SS and DS, which stand for code segment register or extra segment register, stack segment register and data segment register. Now when I say a register, that means it is assembly of flip-flops having number of flip-flops which can contain data in the form of bits. Now all these four registers, code segment, extra segment and stack segment register, they are all 16-bit registers. When I say 16-bit register, it means it has got 16 flip-flops and each flip-flop can hold 1 bit. So likewise, D15, D14 up to D0, such 16-bit data can be stored in this register. Now what 16 bits are stored in this segment register? So you should remember that segment register holds or stores 16 bits of base address of memory segments. What is the function of segment register? Segment register stores 16 bits of the base address of memory segment. Now what is base address and what are these terms, that can be discussed later, but right now you should understand the function of the segment register is to hold the base address. It is something related with the address, and address of what? Address of a memory segment. Now for this you should understand that the memory which we are talking about, we have discussed in the previous lecture that microprocessor 8086 has total 1 MB memory, and this 1 MB memory can be divided into 16 different segments, starting from 1, 2, 3 up to 16 different segments are available in this 1 MB memory. And out of these 16 memory segments, 4 memory segments can be used in any program. While writing a program, we make use of 4 memory segments. What are those 4 memory segments? The first segment is code memory segment. Second memory segment is data memory segment. Third memory segment is stack memory segment. And fourth memory segment is extra memory segment. These 4 memory segments have specific functions. Code memory segment is used to store the code. Whatever program we write, that program is stored in the code memory segment. Code or the program. For the program, whichever data we want to use, that can be stored in the data memory segment. If the data is stored in the form of stack, data, if it is stored in the form of stack, then it is called as stack memory segment. We can discuss this later in this memory segmentation, which can be a separate lecture or a separate video. But right now we should understand that stack is a kind of last in first out format. So if the data is stored in the form of stack, it will be saved in the stack memory segment. And if we have some extra data, then that can be saved in the extra memory segment. So likewise, out of total 16 segments of the memory which are available, 4 memory segments can be used in one particular program. One memory segment is dedicated specially for storage of code. Another memory segment can be used for storage of normal data. Then stack memory segment can be used for storage of data in the form of stack. Extra memory segment can be used to store the data, extra data, which can be used in the program. Each memory segment is having the capacity of 64 KB. Now this particular memory segments will have base address, and this base address is saved in the segment registers of microprocessor. So when I talk about segment registers, the function of segment register is to store the 16-bit base address of these four memory segments. So code segment register will save the base address of code memory segment. So code segment register saves the base address of code memory segment, which stores the program. Extra ES segment register stores the base address of extra memory segment, which saves the extra data. Stack segment register saves the base address of stack memory segment, which saves the data in the form of stack. And DS is the data segment register, which saves the base address of data memory segment, which can save the data. So, four memory segments have corresponding four segment registers in the microprocessor. Memory segments exist in the memory and segment registers exist in the processor. So do not get confused with the memory segment and segment register. Memory segment is a part of memory and segment register is a part of microprocessor architecture. That is second part which we need to discuss today, and that part is instruction pointer in the bus interface unit. Instruction pointer is another 16-bit register which stores the effective address of next instruction to be executed. As we discussed, code memory segment contains the code which user has saved. Now this particular code is taken from the memory and is brought into the microprocessor. Now when these instructions are brought into the microprocessor, the effective address corresponding to each instruction will be stored in the instruction pointer. So instruction pointer is another 16-bit register which stores the effective address of next instruction to be executed. Now when that instruction is brought into the microprocessor, the address in IP will be automatically incremented and it will carry the address of next instruction which is to be executed. So for example, first instruction is X. When X is brought into the microprocessor, the IP will point to the next instruction Y which is to be brought. So when Y is brought into the microprocessor, IP will point to the next instruction Z. So likewise, instruction pointer holds the effective address of next instruction to be executed by the microprocessor. So this is the second part of bus interface unit. Third part of bus interface unit is instruction queue. Instruction queue is the assembly of 6 registers. It has 6 registers, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which are of the format first in, first out. Now when I say first in, first out, it means that the first number which is brought here, that can be taken out first. The way we stand in the queue, a person who is standing first in the queue will be served first. In the similar manner, the number which is brought into the instruction queue first, that can be taken out first. It will be served first. So instruction queue is first in, first out type. The purpose of instruction queue is to form the queue of the instruction. The instructions that are brought from the memory. From the code memory segment, the instructions are brought into the microprocessor into the instruction queue. So in the code memory segment, for example, if we have instructions X, Y, Z, then those instructions will be brought into the microprocessor in the sequence. X will come first, then it will brought to the second register, then Y will come, then X will come here, Y will come here, Z will be brought, then X will come here, Y will come here, Z will come here, the next instruction will be brought here. Likewise, all the instructions will be brought into the instruction queue one by one, and this way there are 6 registers available in the instruction queue. Each register is of 8 bit, so each register can hold the opcode corresponding to the instruction. Now, opcode means the machine language code corresponding to any instruction. So, if instruction X is brought into the microprocessor, it may occupy one register or two register, or it may occupy maximum of the 6 registers which are available in the instruction queue depending on the length of the instruction. Instruction length will vary for every instruction. So one instruction may occupy 1 byte of the instruction queue. It may occupy 2 bytes, maybe 3 bytes, or maybe up to 6 bytes. The maximum instruction that is available in the 8086 is having the length of 6 bytes. That is why instruction queue of 8086 has 6 registers. So this is the purpose of instruction queue. The next part is fourth part, which is the summation unit. Now the summation unit or the sigma unit is the unit which generates the physical address of the microprocessor. Now in microprocessor, we know that memory address is of 20 bits, and this 20-bit address is called as physical address. The 20-bit address corresponding to any memory location is known as physical address. This physical address can be generated by microprocessor by adding the base address and effective address, or also called as offset address. The base address is sometimes called as a segment address, and effective address is sometimes called as offset address. So the physical address is generated by adding base address and effective address, and this generation of physical address is carried out in the summation unit. So when the summation unit adds the base address and effective address, it generates the physical address, and this physical address will be further used by microprocessor for accessing the memory. For reading, writing a program, or for reading, writing a data from the microprocessor, the physical address has to be generated by the processor, and this process is carried out within the summation unit. So likewise, these 4 units are available in the microprocessor. Now this important part here is, we have studied today 2 parts of the microprocessor: bus interface unit and execution unit. Bus interface unit fetches the code from the microprocessor, and execution unit executes that. Now the parallel working of bus interface unit and execution unit. That means when the bus interface unit is busy in fetching the instruction, at the same time execution unit is busy in execution of the previously fetched instruction. So fetching of the instruction and execution of the previously fetched instruction, these processes run parallelly, which is called as pipelining. And thus the architecture of microprocessor is called as pipelined architecture. In the previous versions of the microprocessor, this facility was not available, but in 8086 microprocessor, the bus interface unit fetches the instruction. At the same time, execution unit keeps on executing the brought previously by the bus interface unit. So fetching and execution, when these processes move parallelly, it is called as pipelining, and pipelining increases the speed of the microprocessor. So this way the architecture of 8086 is supposed to be a pipelined architecture. So in today's lecture, we have discussed about the bus interface unit, its major four parts that are available in it, and the pipelining concept. So in the next lecture, we will discuss about the execution unit. Thank you.